Oh, we'll still be streaming. The sun explodes, we'll still be here.
Tucked away in the birthplace of America, there's a
Wait, what
pizza
is
shop
this?
that's run by one
This guy makes 150 pizzas a night. I want to see this.
man. Somehow, he's able to produce 150 pizzas a night alone. On top of that, he sells out almost every week. People come from all
It's a lot
over
of
the
pizza.
state, and oftentimes
150 pizzas. If I want to make my own pizza, I make like 4 to 5 pizza doughs, and that'll last me 4 or 5 days possibly. The fresh dough when you make it doesn't last that long. So ideally for this guy, you would want to make it a day or two ahead of time so that it's as fresh as possible on the third day. That's like the third day in the fridge, slowly rising is the best. You might want to do second day. So I'm just wondering how much dough you have to make. It's a lot. 150 pizzas. A lot of pizza.
they'll order
A
their
lot of
pie
dough.
days ahead just to make sure they can get one. So how is this even possible? Why does he do it alone?
Oh,
the pizza
if it's
really
good
be
pizza,
that
you
good?
have to be making the dough.
We're about to find out. So I'm in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
What makes
and
you-
I am freezing,
Plymouth?
but I'm
I wanna
heading
go
to Edge
there.
Pizza to meet up with Chef Aaron to find
Oh.
out why one person would
I've
sacrifice
already
so
heard
much
about this
time and
place.
effort just to make a pizza. Meet Aaron, the culinary genius who's making some of the most hype pies in New England. He's here 5 days a week and has become somewhat of a local celebrity. I asked him how he manages time, and his answer was shocking. You actually have a full-time job, right?
Yeah, work as a physical and occupational therapist. So I'm fixing hips and knees and shoulders.
Wow, and this isn't even
stuff
his
all
full-time
day,
job.
and coming here.
That's
and
crazy.
And feeding people at night.
feeding people.
How does he have all the energy to do
So
this?
I'm not sure when he actually has time to sleep, but I do know that these
That's what I was
pies
gonna
look
say. Where-
amazing.
how-
And
when does
sets
he
himself
sleep?
apart from other locals in the area by specializing in
What?
Detroit-style pizza, which has a signature square shape, and when the pie's put together, it's layered cheese, toppings.
That's my
and sauce,
favorite kind
which
of
is
pizza, square, thick crust. If you could, I don't know how much his pizza is, but if you could do that with no topping, just plain pizza for $8, I would get that every
different
single
than
day
how
of my
most
life.
pies are assembled. So why Detroit-style pizza? I mean, we're in New England. You
Maybe
grew up in New
$10.
England, right?
That's right. My family is Sicilian.
Okay.
And they came over from Palermo.
Wow.
Sicilian was a natural progression for me to make something thick. So when the Sicilians came here at the turn of the century to work in the factories, in the auto industry,
Yeah, don't
they
forget about
would
the last. We'll work less hours. The video before said we'll work less.
work on the factory line, and they would use these pans for like extra parts and nuts and bolts. They'd take these pans home and they would cook their Sicilian pizza in it. So their cheese just ended up kind of caramelizing around the edge and creating that laced edge. Pretty
Which to
awesome.
me is the best.
You gotta have the right pan. I have those pans. I don't know if it has a little lip or like. I don't know if it's the same exact pan, but it does the same thing, and it makes a huge difference.
pizza. I love that like crispy lace at the
So
end.
good.
With all this hype around the pizza, I wanted to see what goes into actually making it. First, it starts with the dough.
So that's our dough that's going into the pans. So I just make sure it gets into the pan because when it sits overnight, it's going to puff and spread out and it's going to flatten.
Okay, cool. So you just want it to kind of
Wait,
be even
they're in the
across.
fridge or no?
What's in the dough?
Flour, water, salt, yeast.
That's it. Just keep it simple.
Yep.
Wow, wait, flour, water, yeast, sugar, salt, olive oil. That's what I would put in
Tonight,
it.
it's going to puff and spread out.
But
and
all
it's
he's
gonna
got is
Okay,
just
cool.
what?
So you just want it to kind of be even across.
Correct.
What's in the dough?
Flour, water, salt, yeast.
That's it. Just
Water,
keep it simple.
flour,
Yep,
salt,
four
yeast,
ingredients.
no
So how long
sugar,
did it
no
take you
olive
to
oil.
Figure out the dough ratio and how long to let it sit.
I started out with 40 doughs in my first day. All right, I'm going to do 40, see how it goes, see if anybody will buy any. We sold out in a half an hour. Like,
Dang,
No
there was a
way.
line out the door.
that's insane.
I'm like, oh, we're going to need a bigger boat.
yeah.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
And then they get a cover,
Cool.
and then they get to hibernate overnight.
Normally, when you see a thick pizza like this, you expect it to sit really heavy and be really dense. Detroit-style pizza is the opposite. It looks the same as those other types of pies, but it's actually super light and airy.
In order to get the air bubbles and for it to be soft and airy like that, the hydration level has to be a little higher. So when
Yeah, you want more
formation
water.
happens, it creates these
And
bubbles.
You have to put more water in the mix when you're making the dough to make it fluffy and soft when you bite into it, but it's still crispy. but the more water, it makes it more difficult to work with it.
In order
So
for
you
the
have,
bubbles to-
I have a scale that measures to the gram, and I measure out exactly how much each ingredient I'm using, and then you pour water in a measuring cup, and you weigh the water that you're using against how much flour you have.
really stretch and get bigger, you gotta have a wetter dough.
Gotcha. Okay, so
And
it's really just
the
cold
more
water,
water
not anything else.
percentage
Once
is
they're all
how you know
through for the next
exactly how
day,
much water to put in it.
I'll take these and
You
bring them
can
over,
you
and
can
I'll make them
eyeball it.
form-
What I used to do is, before I got the scale, I would start out with how much I thought would be a good amount of, actually I would go extra water, and then I would add, I have a mixer, little on a kitchen stand, not like a big one, it's small, you know, you can get them, not too expensive. You don't even need a mixer, you could do it by hand, but if you want to make it quickly, you get the mixer. So when I'm mixing it, I'll just add flour as I'm going until it starts to come together, and then that's how you can do it without exactly measuring, trying to eyeball it.
4 minutes each. And it'll go right into, somebody orders a pizza, it's a Dub Pep, throw it in, cheese it, top it. So it's a 3-day process.
So not only is the crust unique for this pie, but the cheese blend is also something of its own compared to other pizza styles.
So it's a whole milk mozzarella and a Vermont white cheddar. It has the flavor of the cheddar, which is that little bit of salty, funky cheddar, and then the mozzarella
I
gives
do
it
not
the
like
cheese
that.
texture,
What kind is
and
it?
a little bit of mozzarella,
I just like
and then-
Also something
mozzarella.
of its own compared to other pizza. Not only is the
So it's a whole milk mozzarella.
Whole
and
milk
a Vermont
mozzarella.
white cheddar. It has the
Vermont
flavor
white
of the
cheddar. No, I don't
which
know
is
about all
little
that.
bit of salty, funky cheddar, and then the mozzarella gives it the
Yeah, you
cheese
can keep that
texture
funky.
and pull. But the cheddar is what creates the laced edge.
Gotcha.
So when you make like cheddar chips or Parmesan chips in your toaster oven or your oven at home for the crispy chips, that's basically what's happening at the edge of the pan or on the blue steel.
Mozzarella
One
still
thing that can really make or
caramelizes.
break a pizza for me is the sauce. I feel like it holds everything together. I was really excited to find out what went into this one, and I was shocked when he told me.
There was
tell you
this
the secret.
time where Domino's. No, not Domino's. No, never Domino's. I don't like Domino's. Fuck Domino's. Pizza Hut. The Pizza Hut had the Detroit style pizza. That was great for Pizza Hut. No, there's nothing wrong with Domino's. I just prefer Pizza Hut.
It's just crushed tomatoes.
Nothing
I don't
else?
cook it.
Maybe
I don't put
I'll
any
try 'em
seasoning, no
again.
salt, no pepper. It's
I
just
my
tomatoes.
okay, this is my thing here. I think Domino's. You just got to use better cheese, and then everything will be great. I actually like the garlic twist knots things you can get there, but they got that's it. If they could just use better cheese, it would be a billion times better.
Really good tomatoes, but I don't do anything to it. So my great grandfather and my grandmother told me that the least amount you do to something will make it the best thing.
Like, do you cook them
That's right.
for a long time, like on a low heat, or is it just good
I
to
only
go?
bring it up to 165 and then I lower it down.
Yeah,
to
you don't
warm.
cook the
So-
Can we
sauce.
see the cans he's?
Yeah.
You maybe he just heats
Okay,
it up
big
with
bags.
whatever
So
ingredients,
this is
but
the move right here. Hold
wow, it comes like that, chopped. You that's one of the easy things about pizza. You don't have to cook the sauce. You let the sauce cook when it's when you're making the pizza. So you can just take some tomatoes, crush them up, or buy them pre-crushed like that. Put in a jar with some oregano, and you have sauce. You put in a little bit of sugar as well, because the sugar counteracts the acidity of the tomatoes, and maybe a little bit of salt too.
California.
Well, California, it's probably the best tomato sauce. If I were to cook it, it would get too sweet. I want the acid to hit the top of the palate first, and the bottom
Okay,
to
that's
hit
an
that
interesting
buttery
take. I can see
crust
this.
underneath.
Every pie that
They
came out
want
of
it
the oven
to be a
looked
little bit
picture
acidic.
perfect, and it's obvious that the
I don't know,
ingredients
was
are
there
super high
sauce
quality.
underneath
But I
them?
was wondering, how are the pies coming out so consistent without any stick or loss of lacing around the
When I got the Detroit style pizza at Pizza Hut, yeah, it was very acidic. but it had that. It was a flavor, and you liked that. It was pretty good.
Edges. Aaron told me the pan is the last ingredient that goes into a good Detroit pie.
The pan does it all. It's not, you saw how easy that came out.
Yeah.
The pan. I got mine on Amazon. This one right here. $30 for one pan to make pizza. You eat the pan. It's expensive every time. No. You can get a bigger pan for $40, but I got the smaller pan, the 8x10, and that's all you need just for one person. And this is, I literally have the same exact, this is what I have. And it's really good.
How hard is it here?
Yeah.
You just let the oils kind of build up and season the pans.
Kind of like a cast iron skillet.
Yeah. The more you use it, the better it gets. Watching
Chef Aaron and his process, it hit me. He never had any traditional culinary training. How did this sports medicine therapist go from zero experience to making some of the most sought after pies in New England?
I never was trained to make pizza, and I'm not saying that I'm amazing, but give me a good kitchen. It's all about having the right ingredients and making a good recipe. Like I was saying before, you got to get the right percentages. And I could probably make a pizza like that. It's not rocket science, actually. It's pretty easy.
I had gastric bypass surgery. I was 365 pounds. When I lost 160 pounds of that, I started cooking because everything I needed to cook, it had to be perfect because I could only eat a little.
Right, yeah.
So I started perfecting every single recipe that I did. And I just got really good at cooking.
When did you open?
So opened in the middle of the pandemic. Yeah, a lot of places were closing left and right. And I said, maybe this is the opportunity where I can make something successful by customizing it to the restraints of COVID.
What I've thought about doing is something like a food truck that does pizzas like this.
So takeout, online ordering, minimal seating, low staff. That was what was being required.
You could do events, parties.
You had a big restaurant with servers and no one could go in and
fairs, festivals, that kind of
So
that kind of thing.
you started it 3 years ago, but you already had a regular job. What was the process like when you actually got it going?
So when I decided to open my own restaurant, I invested in pans, 40 pans.
Damn, it's freaking nearly $20 for a pizza, but it's really good. Listen, you don't have to make it so artisan. You can make it more basic and charge less. Or sell more.
I invested in pans, 40 pans, and a Subway bread oven. And that's what I cooked
Subway bread
for
oven.
a year before I scaled up to a bakery oven like this. I was doing
Subway
12
bread oven.
12 pizzas at a time. So I was able to customize my point of sale. So when people are ordering, it made it so people couldn't order a whole bunch in one period of time. If they tried to order all at 4:30, the next 12 pizzas would be bumped to the next time frame. So every 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I was never overwhelmed because I was never making more than 12 at a time in that oven. And the place that I was able to use, a friend of mine gave me an opportunity in a small building on the side of his restaurant, a place called Off the Grid in Sandwich, formerly a homing pigeon coop. It was maybe 200 square feet. My little Subway oven in 200 square feet in a former pigeon coop.
So you took it over and made some pizza.
Yeah, I had to duck going into it, like duck into the doorway. And once I'm in, there's like a little window that people picked up their pizzas at.
Was it hot in there? I mean,
extremely hot.
I can imagine you were.
Is it hot in there? It had to be hot.
With the humidity here in the summertime too. That
middle of July.
How does it feel to be like, I literally started my business in a pigeon coop, and now I'm here, and you've got customers coming in regularly.
I want to go there.
What's that like?
Well, when I think about it that way, it's pretty awesome. One of the main reasons I love cooking is when people like what I've cooked.
Yeah.
Or when they say that's the best.
I've even been there.
A lot of people.
Plymouth. I think I've been not there.
people throughout the day that it said exactly that. It's the best pizza they've ever had. I had the pleasure of chatting with this guy named Paul. He's a regular, and he explained to me what this pizza means to him.
So my grandmother in New York, every Sunday afternoon, she'd make a Sicilian style. All my cousins would sit there and eat it, and then as a topper, she'd roll out the pizza the fried dough with the sugar on it.
Oh my God.
Oh,
It
shit.
was like dying and going to heaven. So when I first had this, it
The
brought me
Zeppelis.
back 50 years.
See, that's something. If you make pizza dough, you can use the same dough. You can flatten it out, roll it, and then cut it into little squares, and fry those, and put that in powdered sugar. That's Zeppelis, and that stuff's so good.
Brought me back 50 years, and when you told the story about the Italian woman that from Italy that didn't say a word until the end of the conversation, and she came up and she said, "This is the best I've ever had."
Yeah.
It's amazing that every week, Paul can relive those memories of his grandmother's cooking through the shop. He had great things to say about the food, but he also
No
had great
BS.
things-
It's really nice when you can make good food and people just really actually want to eat it. Because I've showed you the pizza that I make on I showed you on stream, the pizza I make, and the pizza's pretty good. And I like nothing more than making that for people. And pizza, and who doesn't like pizza? It brings people together,
to say about Aaron as a person.
just like that guy and his family.
Guy, this guy is. My wife and I came up here a couple weeks ago, and we couldn't get near the store here because of the parade. We had ordered a pizza beforehand because we couldn't get close. He talked to me and he said, "Park at the John Carver and walk over, and I'll bring the pizza from the store over to your car." So I went up there. I stood on the corner for 5 minutes. He found me. He gave me the pizza.
Nice guy.
On the corner.
After Paul left, I was thinking about how amazing it is that Aaron has so much support in the community. But I was wondering, why has he just kept it to himself? If this pizza's so good, why not expand?
You had one location, and now you have this location and not the other one, right?
Right. So just one. I tried doing two and thought maybe expanding would be a cool way to make some money.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
Really?
Yeah. When I'm doing it by myself. If I had someone who was me, who I knew did things the way I do them,
He is never ever gonna be able to find another person who can do it the way that he can and still put out the same exact. I mean, he might be able to, but teaching someone that exactly the way he needs it to be done, that perfect recipe, it would be like a freaking getting a degree in
Yeah,
pizza
that would
making.
have been fine. And I would say, you're in charge of that one, I'm in charge of this one.
Well, I guess you're not looking for other people to work with you, but like, have you had people that are like, "Hey, you should franchise this," or
Constantly.
really?
A large number of people who said, "I'd love to open one of these edges where I live. Would you ever be open to that?"
And you're not doing it?
I'd say, you can, I just don't want to be involved in it.
Yeah, I think that's great. How come?
Yeah,
what's your
anyone
reasoning
can
behind that?
make
You just
pizza
wanna
like
have
this.
Control, or
It's the protection of the brand. Like
I
if I had
respect that.
someone and they're on the other side of the country and I don't know what they're doing, they can make my restaurant look bad
Right.
if they do it wrong.
I love that you care so much about your brand. Like, how have you set your mind there versus, other people that are just like money and that's it?
Every pizza that I put out, like the way I cook, is making sure that every piece that you eat is perfect. Are they going to open this box and take a picture of it? And once they're done eating it, are they going to open their phones and review it? And that's what I go for, is like that reputation. Around here, everything's word of mouth, everything's reputation. That's how it's built.
He's a really smart guy.
Thank you so much. And the Coke. There are people that live on this street, this main street, that walk by and go, "Oh, I didn't even know you were here." Do you walk with your eyes closed?
That's so funny.
So, it baffles me sometimes.
Yeah.
There are other people who come from Rhode Island. There's a guy who comes every week from Tiverton, Rhode Island,
Oh, wow.
just to get pizza here. 'Cause he
That's
can't
not a
find
short
any pizza
drive.
out there.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is my Sunday activity. I come down, I get a pizza, I go sit by the water, and I go home."
I'm sure you get to know your customers a little bit too if it's just you all the time, right?
Yeah, and when people come in, I know their name, I know what they're there for. I've made their pizza for them, and they just walk right in and I hand it to them. "Hey, Russell, it's all ready for you."
Here
buddy."
you go, hey Russell, what's
Yeah, wow,
going on?
It's been like nonstop since we walked in here. We got here the second they opened, and people are just in and out, in and out.
Aaron's certainly done a good job building his brand and reputation, and he's also done a great job building a system that helps him get these pizzas out with consistent quality. I watched him make pies all day, but is this something that I could do?
Those
I
pizzas do
wanted
look
to try.
insane.
We'll put in a blank.
Alrighty.
This is our cheese bin. And that's all of our toppings. So cheese first.
So how much do you weigh it? You just kind of know how much you should put on there?
I usually do about this much.
Okay.
I make sure that, like, see, I didn't get enough.
Yep.
So I can always go back for more. The key is to getting it close to the edges first. And once you have that in place, then you can kind of just fill in the middle.
I don't like too much
Is that
cheese.
Too much.
You actually have just the right amount.
You
I
think
gotta
there's
have the
a
right
little bit more here.
Yeah,
cheese,
you could probably do another
the
little
salt,
Alright.
bread ratio.
Look at that first shot, almost nailed it. All right, how much pepperoni would you normally put on?
I usually put a handful.
Put them in an order or anything, or you just throw them on?
If I try to make it too perfect, it comes out looking perfect and it looks like somebody else's. So I like it to be nice
little-
and rustic and artistic.
So you go in with the toppings, huh?
Yep. I always think of this as the equivalent of a large pizza.
What's your favorite pie?
My favorite one right now is the Mark Truffalo. It's got like a garlic cream base, ton of mushrooms. I finish it with ricotta, herbs, and a drizzle of...
A ricotta.
So what kind of mushrooms are you using?
I just use white button mushrooms. This
Cool.
is our garlic cream sauce. It's like an Alfredo.
All right, let's.
What is
so
it
they're both
about
on
it?
the oven here.
I like the sweetness of the ricotta, but the idea that there's cheese in it, right? Yeah, I don't like that. That's weird.
Here?
So we cook at 500.
You can
You
keep
put
that.
3 or should I
Yeah,
go up?
three's good.
Okay.
Yeah. and
I'm
that's it.
weird.
Since the pizza
The
was in
only
the
time I eat cheese is on pizza, and it's only mozzarella cheese.
oven, we started
That's it.
chatting about his building and how it was built in the 1700s, only to find out the story of what this place used to be is even more crazy than when he opened the pizza shop originally in a pigeon coop.
It's an old one, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the originals.
1726 it was built.
1726.
300 years old. It was an area where they planned the American Revolution.
In this building? Oh, that's.
I
where
think
the-
I'd heard that because I've heard
Sam
of this place
Adams.
already.
That's
John
so cool.
Hancock, they met right back there. This was the home of Mercy Otis Warren, and she used to write letters to John and Abigail Adams when he was in the presidency. She basically inspired him to form the American Revolution
Really?
from all of that. So
Right
these,
out of this little area.
these timbers are original to the building.
Wow, that's
300-year old.
So after our quick visit to the past, our pizzas were finally done, and damn, did they look good.
You cut first and then sauce?
Cut first.
Okay.
So I do
yeah.
it in thirds. So there's this line,
And then right up the middle.
and then in the middle.
Cool.
Great.
It was time
That's
for me
what
to
I need.
box
I need
mine
one of
up
them
and
big
finish the
freaking
job.
cutters.
Dude, not bad. Not
Looks
bad.
nice.
After staring at the food all day, it's finally time to eat.
Let's open up the pies. Man, these smell so good.
I think that's the one with the honey.
This one's yours for sure. This one's mine. Yours definitely looks like there's more stuff on it. I don't know if I put enough pepperoni on mine, but hey, you know, you
It's
win some, you lose some.
Yeah, and that extra maybe minute or so in the oven made a nice darker edge too.
All right, I'm gonna dive into the slice that I made because I want to see if it's like any good. I mean, it has to probably be good because you guided me through the entire thing. It's not like I really did it, but the cool thing is, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can actually see the air pockets in the dough. All right. let's
Yeah, the
go.
bigger the air pockets, the better. Those air pockets are kind of small, so they
Damn,
probably don't let the dough
you're
rise
right,
that long in the
sauce
fridge. It might
tastes
be only
like
a day or
you've been
two.
working on that for
They're
days.
not hitting that
I mean,
third day.
You've been,
Or maybe
heating
there's
it
just
up
not
for
as
a
much
while.
yeast.
Did you get a piece of the edge yet?
I'm saving it. So this is the lacing that we were talking about. Well, it's interesting because it's not like super greasy like a lot of other pies can be. Like it doesn't sit heavy after you eat it,
Right.
which I feel like a lot of pizza can.
And you see what I mean about the sauce being.
It's all
acidic,
about quality
sweet,
ingredients.
Fresh tomato.
Do you think that like you keeping it to yourself, like is there a reason that the quality stays the same?
Yeah, I mean it has to go. out
The
perfect.
cheese
And I'm usually the one that
is
hands it to
underneath.
somebody.
They put the
Open
it's
box,
under.
it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
ask
it's
for
under
waste
the
of
sauce.
Make another one.
And people are usually cool with that.
Yeah, and it's rare that happens. The other part of it is like this is our menu. It's 16 items on it.
Mhm.
If I were to
It's
start
under
adding
the
sandwiches
sauce.
and chicken fingers and French fries like a lot of pizza places do, I would be way overwhelmed. And the quality would go way down. If I'm going to do something, I want to do it perfectly, do it right, have a small menu.
You're definitely gonna do it better than me. I can already tell by looking at the slice, but I want to try the hot.
What kind of madman goes for the middle first? Are they insane? This guy's freaking crazy.
Damn, that was good. Here we go. The Mark Truffle.
Wait, maybe he was doing that out of respect to not take the guy's corner slice. I can get behind that.
It is like just cream.
It's like a really
Yeah, I don't want the
So
ricotta
that
on the
ricotta is
pizza.
made by a
No.
company called Grande, and they do a whole
Grande is the best
ricotta
cheese you
that
can
I've
get.
not been able to find anywhere else.
Damn, that crazy amount of mushroom you put on actually works really well because the mushrooms kind of like crisp up. I'm like, oh, go next, man. I mean, do you think you'll keep it small forever? Is that the goal?
Yeah, my goal when I first started it was to build this brand and build it.
You'd
to
have to have
point
like a
people want to buy it.
a
So I'll
business
end up selling it
license to
eventually.
go to Restaurant Depot.
Aaron
That's
definitely has something
the
special
store
here,
near me
and
that
after
does that.
tasting his food and spending the day with him, I think what makes this place operate so well with one person comes down to three things: passion for food,
Maybe
incredible
delivery.
systems in place, care for the customer and the community. Like and subscribe
But
for the next one.
the few places that will deliver that to you, they're gonna charge you $1 billion.